Kala ganda. Diyos ko.
Next one. We will go for reading content from the file. Reading content from file. So how do we read? By using Python program we will read. So let us consider this is the file which is already existed in my database or file structure. This file name is student info. Okay. And which is the text file I am maintaining. From this I want to read the data. So this is one Raju and 1234 is contact number, like that. I am going to maintain certain details, and this data I want to read it from this file using Python program. Let us see how to do this one. So here to read, first what I need to do to read the content of this file, I should open this program file definitely. So to open this file, we will go for open function. Okay, and I need to give the file name. Which file I want to read? Student info. I want to read. And for what purpose I am opening this file? To read the content. So to read the content, we have a mode. We have to give a mode. That mode is the R mode. Okay. So when I write R, which indicates to your compiler that I want to open this studentinfo.txt file for reading purpose. If it is working fine, then it will give the file pointer. Here you have to observe one thing. Just I have written one file. So can we give guarantee which is already exist in my file system? No. If a file exists, what happened? If a file does not exist, what happened? Let us observe. So if a file exists, no problem. It opens the file for reading purpose and it returns the file pointer. If a file does not exist, it returns exception. It's not written, it writes an exception. Okay, let us observe whether it return exception or not. So here, first, I will go for one new folder. I am creating one new folder. Within this, I will write the program. So to write the program, I am opening Tony. Right. Nothing available. I want to open this folder also. Right. Here I can't see any file. First, I need to write the program and save into this directory. So before that, I will create one text document. Right. This text document is student info, and manually I am writing some details. So rule number is 1, and I am separating the data using comma. Raju is student rule number, and all lines are the contact number, followed by address. He is living in Hyderabad. So rule number 2, this is Sita, all yets, and she is living in Warangal. And another one 3, Rama, and all 7s, Karimnagar. So these 3 details already present in my file system. Okay. So what is my file name? Student info. My file name is student info. First, I wantedly write a file name. So open. So can you see employee info here? Employee info.txt, which is not available in this folder. And for what purpose I am opening? For read purpose I am opening, and I am going to test this one. So file pointer it will return. After that, simply I am opening file open successfully in read mode. This is the simple message I am printing. Initially, I want to save this file at this folder. So file, I want to save as. So in which directory? On desktop. On desktop under new folder. So all files, student info is available. I am going to store this one test.py. Right. See here, test.py folder file is created. Now I want to run this program. Let us check whether it returns error or not. So when I am running this one, can you see one exception like file not found error? Yes, no such file directory employee-info.txt is not available. What is this? This is one of the exception. So did you understand when I write any file name which is not existed? Yes. Now I wanted the writing the file name which is already available. Studentinfo.txt. So can I get any exception? I won't get any exception. Let us check this one. Right. File opened successfully in read mode. So is this clear? Now. So it is going to raise exception. So I am going to handle this code by using try and except. Which type of exception it is writing? Generating file not found exception. But instead of that, I am going to include the parent exception name. So this exception, it is going to be generated. And simply I am going to print one message, file not found. This is my own text I am writing it here. So this is working fine. And when I run this one, you can see file opened successfully. What is my next job? I want to read the content from this file. So to read content, we have different type of methods were present. So first method is read method. What does this read method do? The syntax of this read method is so very simple. First, you have to write file pointer object, file object dot read. When you write like this, what happens? All the content of your file is read by this statement and will print it. All the content of file can read by this read function and it will return the content. So here, what can I do? Simply, I am using file pointer dot read method. So what it return? It will return the content. That entire content I am going to copy to content variable. Next is simply I am printing what is the content available in the file. Content. Just simply printing the content. So I am not printing this message. Simply I remove this one. And when I run this one, so did you observe? What is the data I have written to the file? That as it is, it has printed. But what is my job? I don't want to see this entire file. I want to see a part of a file. Then what can I do? I want to see only Raju's details. To see Raju's detail, what I need? I need to know how much content it is available. So here, to read the content of a specific size, then we have another function. That second one is read, followed by I have to give n. What does this n indicate? N nothing but number of characters. Okay. How many characters you want to read from that file? Okay, that we need to mention from this place. So here, how can I write this one? Very simple. File object you need to write, followed by dot, followed by read, followed by how many characters you want to read. That number you should mention it here. I have given 10. So let us check what is the output we get. So here, instead of this read, I am going to mention 10. So can we expect what is the output it written? So 1 character, 2, comma is also taken, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the output. What is highlighted at here? Only that content will be printed. Okay, let us check whether it is printing same content or not. Yes, is it printed up to this one? Yes, because I read only the content which contain only 10 characters of data from the file. Which file? Studentinfo.file. But I don't want to read only half part of my record. I want to read this entire row. I want to read this entire row from this one. So what is our requirement? We should know how many characters are available. But can you see as a end user, can you see how many characters of data available in this row? We cannot. Then what can I do? I want to read entire. Okay, you have patience, you count every character. But every record contains same number of characters? No. Okay. So if everything contains same number of characters, there is no problem. Okay. If in case which contain more than number of characters. For example, Warangal, which completed it here, Karimnagar, this is large in size, so which contain more number of characters. So can we predict how many characters were present in each row? We cannot. Then how can we read this one? So to solve this kind of problem, Python has given another function, that is readline method. Okay, so what is the another method we have? Third one, read line method. What does this read line method do? It will read the entire line of a file. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many characters were present in that file. It will read entire line. Okay, so let us go for how it behaves. So read followed by line, I will write. Read followed by line, I will write. Here you need not to mention how many characters you want to read. So can you expect what is the output we get? So this entire Raju's record will be printed. So I am going to run this one. So can I see entire Raju's record? So do you need to know how many characters present in entire Raju's record? No need. Just what can I do? I want to use readline method. So here you observe one thing. After reading one line, so entire line has read. Sir, I want to print a second line. Then what can I do? Then here you need to write one more readline method. Observe here. Once you perform readline method, what happens? This entire line will read by that method and your control is standing at this position, which is ready to read the next line. So let us observe what happens. So here, follow to this one. I am not printing this one. So here, this is content one is nothing but first line of my file. And I am writing content to fp.readline. Then what happens? It will read entire second line. Which line, which second line contained by this content to variable. To print the third line, yes, another time content 3 is the another variable I am taking. fp dot read line is a method. So which is going to hold the third line. Now what I am doing, I am going to print the content 2. So can we expect whose record it will be print? So what is the record present in student info 2? Sita's detail is available. So whose details I can see when I print the content 2? Sita's details will be printed. Right? Can you see Sita's details? Yes. Next, when I write a 3, whose records it will print? Third row, which content it is, that record will be printed. So can you see? Right. So this is the way you have to read the content from the file. Next one. Next one. Here you have to raise one more question. Sir, okay. So if it is 3 lines, I have written 3 lines. But I want to read the line which is present at 1000 row. Which is present at 1000 row. So do I need to write read line method unnecessarily 1000 times? No. When you know perfectly in which row the data you want to be print, then you have to go for another method. That is fourth one, read lines method. Which method? Read lines method. What does it do? This read lines method read entire content of your file. Entire content of file in line wise. Okay? And all the lines are written like a list. Okay? So line wise, and each line is written like a list. Okay, so let us check how does it work. So here, instead of writing multiple times read line method, what I am going to do, just to read lines function I am using, method I am using, I am going to use fp.readlines. This content is going to be copied into content variable. Now what I am doing, I am going to print content. When I print content, all the lines will be printed in the list wise. Yes, so this is first record, this is second record, this is third record, and these all elements are enclosed in these square brackets. So we call this one as a list. Right. Now, let me know how can I print a third record? Just so for this one, you need to supply the index number. Third record is nothing but which index number? This is 0th index. This is first index. This is second index. So what can I do? Simply I will give 2. Now when I hit on run, so can I see only Rama's record? Yes. So is it reduced that number of times writing read line method or not? Yes. So this is the way we have to read. So now you understand how to write content to the file and how to read content from the file. So here you have to raise one more question. Sir, when always we cannot know in which row my data record is available. I will tell you one simple example by showing this one. So what I did, now I am the database, I am maintaining the database. Along with that, I am writing the content. So manually, I am mentioning which line record I want to print. But as a end user, he know in which row his record is present. Very simple example. You are accessing student data from your college portal. So do you know in which row your record is existed in the database? We cannot. How do you access your data? By giving your rule number. Rule number is the unique ID And by using that unique ID, you are fetching your details. Similarly, I am going for this one. I don't know in which row that record is available. When I know the row number, I can give content 2 like this. But when I don't know the row number, what can I do? Just I need to give one of the unique content in my record. Using that, I can fetch the details. So here, this 1, 2, 3 indicates the rule number. Second one name, third one is contact number, and fourth one is the address. So among this one, in your college, which one will be taking as a primary attribute? This first column. This one is the rule number. By using this rule number, I will print the details. So how can I print? That we need to learn. So here, I have taken the data in the database and all the field is separated by using the comma. So when I use read method, okay, so here just observe only one thing. So how do you see? 1, Raju, all lines. Next, Hyderabad. So like that, one record is available. When you perform read line method, this entire thing it has taken. Now, what is my job? I will ask the user to give whose details you want to be print. One I want to print. So how can I map this one? I am going to split this entire string into the pieces. This is first piece, second piece, third piece. How can I say this one is the first part, second part, third part? Because I have separated these things using the comma. Okay. This comma indicates that one field is completed and another field is starting. So how this data is returning? Like a string format. So did we learn how to divide the string into pieces using separate one delimiter? Yes. Which method I need to use? Split method I need to use. So this is the string which is going to be copied into the content variable. This content variable I am going to perform split operation. Based on which parameter you are dividing? Using comma you are dividing. So I will give comma as a input to this one. Then you can see this data like a list. So you can see 1 in string format. You can see Raju in string format. You can see contact number, which is also written like a string format. Next, Hyderabad. Like that, it will be split. When it is split, you can compare this position with the required data. Let us check this one. Right. So what can I do? When I use a read lines method, all the content is present in the content variable. What can I do? I am going to print every record like a list format. So far, I is nothing but each record in content list. I am going to print each record. So what happens when I run this one? Can I see all the records or not? Yes. What can I do? I want to divide this data into the pieces. How can I divide? By using the split method. So this I is indicate each record. This each record I am going to split by using the comma. Right. When I run this one, so is this data split into the pieces or not? And each one is returning like a list. Right. This is working fine. Are you print? So why we are going for this one? We don't know in which line our record is present. Then how can I print my record? By using unique ID. Among these 4 columns, which one is the unique one? This rule number is the unique one. So here I am asking user whose details you want to see. So that one I am taking as a rule number. So rule number, which type it is accepting? String type. So string is nothing but directly I am asking an input, enter whose details you need. This one I am asking, user will give the data and that record I want to print. So when I do split operation, can I get the row or not? How I am getting this row? In the list format. So what is the rule number I have taken? This must be matched with the first column. First is nothing but I dot split is one record. So I am going to copy this one into one of the variable. This is X variable. Now let me know what is X. X is a list type because it is returning list. So which position should be matched with the first row? So if in case X of 0, what is mean by X of 0? X is nothing but entire list. It's a 0th position. If it is matched with the rule number which I have taken from the end user. If it is matched, can I print the details or not? Yes. Simply, I am going to print the details. Now, let us check whether it is executing or not. Yes. So, is it asking me whose details I want to print? Yes. I am giving 3. So, can I see only 3 details? Yes. Now, I am giving 2. Can I see 2 details only or not? Yes. Here you have to raise one question. May I expect what is that question? Here, while I am printing this one, okay, I am giving the rule number which is already existed in my file. So I have given 1, 2, 3. This everything is present. If in case I will give the data which is not available. So here, I am running. I have given 10. Is this 10 rule number student present in my database? Means in my file? It is not available. So may I know what happens when I run this one? Nothing it has printed because that record not exist in my file. Then I should convey to end user that what is the rule number you have given that is not present in my data file system or yes. So that I am going to take another extra variable that is one flag or status or anything. You take one temporary variable. So this is the flag variable. Initially, I am giving its a flag value as 0. Okay. Next, flag value as 0. Next, what can I do? If the record is matches, if the record matches with any row, then simply I am going to change a flag value to 1. Flag value to 1. What does this 1 indicates? That record is found in the file system. If a flag value does not change, which means that file does not exist in my file. That record does not exist in my file. So after completion of this entire loop, I am going to test is this flag value updated or not. After completion of entire for loop, if a flag value is still 0, can you tell what happens? Is this record found? When flag value changes to 1, if record exists. If a record does not exist, is this flag value can change? It never change. Means what is the flag value available? Still 0. So when flag value is still 0, can I print like a record does not exist? A record does not exist? Yes. Let us check whether it is working or not. Now I am saving. When I run this one, it is asking me whose details you want to see. I will give 3. I can see Rama detail. When I go for 10, is this rule number present in my file? No. When I hit enter, record does not exist. So did you understand why did I introduce this flag? Yes. So this is the way you have to read the content from the file. So how many methods we learn to read the content? One is using the read method. But what happens? Read method, read entire file. How it read? Character by character it read. Okay. Next, what does read end do? Read end will read given number of characters only. Right. Then what is the problem you understood at this place? So what is the file available? So in that each detail is not maintaining same size. Okay. So to identify exact length of my record, which cannot be possible by using read end. So what can I do? I have to go for read lines method. What does read line method doing? It will read entire row and it will return. And if you want to read the second line, again you need to write read line method twice. To read 100th line, unnecessarily I have to write read line method 99 times. Okay. So to avoid that one, we will go for read lines method. What does this read line method doing? It will read the entire content of a file like a row wise and each row returning like a list that we have seen. And we split this one and we have printed the required details. So this is the way you have to read the file. Next one. So what did we learn? We learned how to create a file, how to write content to the file, how to read content from the file, and we learned how to close the file. What is the next thing we need to learn? How to delete the file. Okay. So I don't want to maintain this file in my future. So can I waste my system memory? I never waste. Okay. I want to delete this file. I don't want to maintain this info file. So what can I do? So here we will go for one small module, that is OS module. That OS module is to delete the content from the file. Delete the record. 1 minute. So now what can I do? The studentinfo.txt. This is available, but no one asked me the content which is present in my file. Then I don't want to maintain. So when you don't want to maintain the file, I want to delete the file. So to delete the file, Python has given one function. This is unlink function. What does this unlink function do? It will remove the file from your file system. So which file you want to be deleted, that you need to supply as a argument. So studentinfo.txt. So this is going to be deleted. When I run this one, let us check whether it is working or not. When I run this one, so it has given me one error, unlink. Why it is returning error? Because this is not the direct function available with you, which is present in one of the module. That module is the OS module. Import OS. I am going to bring the OS module to your application. When you import, then you can use all the content related to this module. Next, while writing this one, os.unlink, Next, after that, simply I am printing one message like file deleted successfully. Right. I have saved this one. Observe whether this file is deleting from this folder or not when I run this one. So when I run, can you see file deleted successfully? Yes. Can you see the file at here? No. Did I delete this one manually? No. Using this code, I have deleted. So did you understand how to delete a content from the file? Sorry. How can I delete a file from the folder? Yes. So os.unlink is a method which is for removing the file from our working directory. This is completed. Next one, what is the another function we have? Sorry, not function, another operation. One minute. So what did we learn? We learned how to create a file, opening file, closing a file, delete file we learned. Next, we need to go for renaming a file. So how to rename a file? Yes, to rename a file, we need one file first. Text document. This is student info I have given. Least bother whether it contain the file or not. So to rename the file, again we need to go for import OS module. os.rename is the file. So here rename is expecting the two arguments. This is current file name followed by how you want to be renamed. That new file name you have to give. Okay, along with the extension, proper extension. So I am going to test this one. So what is the current file name? Student info. Which type it is? Text document. So student student info.txt. And how I want to change this one? Employee info.txt I am writing. Yes, after that, simply I am printing one message like file rename successfully. Now I have saved this one, and when I run, so file rename is successful. Can you see student info? It has changed to employee info. So is it completed? How to read content from the file? How to write content to the file? Yes. So this is the way you have to read the content and write the content. So do you have any doubts from this?